Welcome everybody to another episode of the Sorare Summit. This is me, Yasz, and I'm with my good friend who just woke up. I okay because guys, it's actually at 8:45 in the morning. So if let's say Adit looks like he just woke up, it's probably true.
I just look like this all the time. Not my fault that I look so tired these days. Life of a student.
Uh, how's life for you, man? How's your week
Oh, it was
outside
good.
of Sorare?
Oh, it was
Outside
a
of
good.
Sorare.
It just now going into the exam stretch for me, so it's a bit stressful, but we're getting through it.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Yeah, work's been pretty crazy for me, but yeah, man, we still always find time, as best as we can. We actually almost wanted to cancel this because I was pretty tied up with work. Adit had exams, but we made the time, guys, and yeah, it's a bit ungodly hour for Adit, but thank you, Adit, for waking up this early and for us to kind of continue this little run that we have with our little podcast, man.
Of course, of course. Anything for the fans.
Okay, cool. So we have a few topics today. We're gonna run through. It's not gonna be a crazy episode in terms of like topic, but we're just gonna run through what our performances are in the past week, and then we have a few topics, around listen play. Adit made a mistake, guys. A
Not
few
not
mistakes, I should
mistake. A few actually. Yeah.
say. A few, and then the usual stuff like our saints and sinners. Adit has a 22-20 Euro 15. I've given up for this week, and we'll talk a little
Guys,
bit
he's
about why.
he's cheating. Guys.
I'm
I
not
don't
cheating.
agree.
I'm taking a 1 week break because I'm on a losing streak, a bad losing streak.
Nah, nah, nah.
And then we talk about highlights of our next game week and some closing thoughts. So on to our first topic. Let's talk a little bit about so how did you do, man, in terms of performance, man?
Not a good week at all. It's just a terrible week. No rewards. I,
Really?
I came close to it, but not close enough for anything.
Okay.
So
You can kind of look through, some of your. I mean, your All Star was pretty okay, actually, right? You did pretty okay for All Star. I
yeah,
mean, it
I
was a
think
bit
I
close to.
captained the wrong person, and a certain decisive was taken away from one person that would have secured it for me. So
Who? Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yes,
Morris.
yeah. Morris. So Morris, I mean, Morris has been talked about a lot in our podcast, but he had a really good game though. I mean,
Yeah.
they did lose 1-0, and at the, I think 90th minute, we saw the Sorare data
He
notification.
said it's a
Go!
celebration. I was like so happy. Then later it got taken away. I was like shit.
And that would have been like that would have put him easily about 90 points, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, very close. 16 points to a tier 5. And I tell you, I followed you buying the Leandro, and oh my god, he is a monster, man.
Now
At a
he's
96
$33.
points.
$33. I bought him for
So he,
$2. I'm so tempted. I am so tempted.
that's pretty wild, man. That's so wild. That's so wild. Okay, cool. All right. So that was your All Star. Okay, let's look at your rest that you have. Okay, yes, you can run through 220 a little
Yes,
bit.
sir.
Yes. So
Yes.
that's your win. I did win again. He won using one of my cards, which is pretty hilarious. The card that I used last week, Hall George, which looks like a pretty interesting baller though. Like he
Yeah.
is playing very, very well, man. Good
And he's
pace.
young, so it's got
Yeah.
a lot of utility. So
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Your 240, okay, 240 shit the bed with two
as usual,
Kafu and
I just
uh,
cannot work out a 240 lineup that works for me. I don't know why it happens all the time now.
interesting. Okay, and then you have
Hit 270 hit shit the bed even more.
pretty wild, man. Like literally, you had I think like 3 DNPs.
And then all the players that played like shit. They got negative decisives. What the hell is going on with my lineups this week, bro? It's actually terrible. I think my challenger was decent at least.
Yeah. No, but Challenger is tough, man. If you probably need everyone to be the
100%.
green to actually win
Exactly.
anything for Challenger. But Alan Sousa seems like an interest. But just be careful about this about
His league's
leagues.
ending also, yeah.
They are close to relegation, right? From what I
Yeah,
saw.
yeah.
Yeah, so be a bit careful about that. Gaston Hernandez, man, back to form.
Uh,
But your Rojas
this
and
this is
Godin.
what killed me. This is where I didn't look at Playsharper, which we will talk about, and that screwed me twice. Yeah,
Okay, so overall, yeah, man. I mean, a little bit left to be said, but at least you won 220
yeah.
again, which puts me on a 4. I think 4 week
4
losing
weeks,
streak.
yes.
Yeah, that sucks, man. Okay, okay, I'll run through my week, which was a lot better. I did win a tier 3 and a tier 4, of which, in terms of rewards, I won two Premier League players. I won Casemiro
Yep.
as my tier 3, which was pretty decent, but I've already traded him away for other players. And I think my tier 4 was who? Who was my tier 4?
Let me check. I know you sent it on our group
I've
that
been
we
getting a
have.
lot. I've been getting a lot of like, for some weird reason, I've been getting a lot of many
You
players.
got
I got what
Daniel Podence.
or Daniel Podence, which is okay lah. Young, could be decent, but okay,
True.
not too bad. Not too unhappy with my rewards. So my All Star was a bit sad because I was 88 points away from a tier 5.
Oh no!
Because Mota and Langerak considered 2 goals. Langerak is supposed to be one of the better goalkeepers
Exactly.
but he's not been performing well. And the next match he has against Marinos, which is also pretty shitty. Herrera did okay. Perez and Wule, man. I tell you, Wule is a cheat code, man. Wule is okay. Not only does he literally have decisive every match, right? Um, and he actually plays midweek also. So midweek, I had him for midweek, and he had another assist. He
Yeah.
had a shitty game by the way for that. He literally was on minus decisive, minus 35 was on yellow and red.
What?
But then he actually out of nowhere he just scored. Yeah, he didn't play well in the midweek, but he
Oh,
actually out of nowhere got an assist,
fair
assist or a
enough.
goal. I can't remember. It's a bit expensive, but I think for the value that I'm getting from him, I think it's pretty worth it.
How much did you get
But
him for,
this
by the way?
about 80, not
Not too
cheap,
bad.
not cheap. Yeah. Yeah, my T20 shit a bit. Actually, because of Rikito Inui, who actually considered 3 goals. Saganto, this match was a really interesting match because these two teams have not been scoring at all in any
Exactly.
previous match. And then they scored 5 goals between them, of which sadly my team scored 3 goals, so minus decisive, pretty bad. And then, but you got Yuki Nogami, man. If you guys are looking for threshold players, I think Yuki Nogami is really good. His L15 is only in 40 plus, but he's scoring 50 plus every game. So he's perfect for a threshold team if you need 50 points per person. Yeah. So you can go for that. Jason Joe Nubel, they lost 2-0, but decent A for. But they were against the bottom team. I didn't get this, man.
Even
Like,
the
because of
players
matchups,
I have a Motherwell players and they lost to Dundee also. I don't understand what's going
I
on.
don't
Why they
understand.
can't be the last
This is,
team?
yeah. Okay, so my cap 220 rare was horrible because I had two DNVs. Jun Sung Rong lost his place, so I had to trade him off already. I lost money on this guy.
Ah,
So now he's not been playing well, but he's 37 now. I think they're playing a younger goalkeeper, Kami
yeah.
Fuku. Not really that young, so in 30s or so.
Kawasaki?
Surprisingly, Kawasaki Fantao, yeah. And Kawasaki Fantao has been pretty shit in the league.
Yeah, exactly.
Broderick finally
Finally.
finally 65 points, but in a lineup that didn't make sense. Daniel Pereira, this was pretty sad. They actually was playing well. He actually had like in first half his AA was at his close score was about 60 points, but then they
Oh,
conceded 2 goals in the second half. Cassiano out of nowhere got injured a day before so no one knew. So Playsharper also put in as 100%,
yeah.
didn't work out. Luis Suarez, his team isn't playing well. He hasn't gotten any decisive, but his AA game is pretty strong, man, for a striker. So very good for I think threshold stuff. So yeah, I mean this was usually my rares, my 240, my 220, 270, they're all like kind of throw away. For me, it's what's important is I get threshold. 240 was shit. Kim Jong-gu is now not only came as a sub, he's not even playing now for some weird reason. So I won't go too far into this because this was the worst
Hey, your mic
performing
did
team.
well. You used him for 220 recently and he's still performing.
Yep.
Despite
Already.
conceding 3 goals also.
Yep. Now he's an AA monster and he's pretty young actually. So I think this
Exactly.
guy has something for the future. But I've actually traded him off already because his
Mhm.
price went up. But this is the one that I'm super happy about. Yes, your boy hit threshold again. Rare threshold is one of the most important things I always want to hit. It was about 55 euros. And I think I've hit 3 times already. So I already got a return of about 150 euros, which covers the
Damn good.
cost actually of at least 3 of these players. So Marlon, Selminwu, Herrera, they're roughly about that. No, Herrera's very expensive. I think 2 players, Marlon and Selminwu is about, both of them will cost about 55, 150 easily. Actually, all three. Kaneko, Xiaominwu, Marlon would be 150. So I've covered the cost of 3 players. Right? Nishikawa, of course, is more expensive. It's about 400 euros.
Goalkeeper.
And Herrera is about 150 euros or 120 euros around there. So for me, I'm already halfway through, covering the cost of this team. And I think that's fitting. And then after that, everything else will be forfeit. Nishikawa had considered a goal which was quite sad, but he had good AAs. He is old, but he plays every single match. So this guy, and Urawa doesn't change the team much. So he was a really, really good buy. Malin had assists out of nowhere. Did not expect that. Super happy. Seo Min Woo, again, a very, very good AA guy. This guy will never score more than 50 and he will never score less than 50. So what happens is that his AA, his IL-15 is always consistent. And like I said, you need players to score at least 50 to 55 points. You need players like him, right? Kaneko is the one that I would say has possibility of, like having assists or goals. He didn't and he considered 2 goals as a midfielder, so he didn't get that good. But his AA game was okay. Herrera also had a very good AA game, even though he didn't score a goal, as a striker. So overall, because of I think Marlon and Seo Min Woo, we scraped through the threshold. So very, very happy about this. And then 270 was sad. I expected a little bit more for this. Dylan Sok didn't even start, which was sad. Osimhen had a shitty game. Almiron didn't start. Shirai had a horrible game. And Stephen Frey had a clean sheet. This was sad because this was so close. I had 3 very, very good scorers. And then
Really good.
Cavio actually considered 3 goals. So this was one of those games where, didn't work out. This also, Vissel Kobe lost, which also was an amazing match. by the way, guys, I have already booked my tickets. I will be going to watch Vissel Kobe on the 13th of May, playing against Sanfrecce Hiroshima. I'm super excited. I'm going with my brother-in-law. So okay.
Excited, huh?
Okay, now come to the thing that matters. My Newcastle stack. The only thing, right, that disappoints me is Nick Pope. Nick Pope is consistently, they will hammer teams, but somehow they will concede one stupid goal. And the one goal that he considered was really dumb. It was just Fabian Schär not doing good defending, right? Foremost. And then, I don't know, now I heard Everton, they actually considered 80th minute. Why you consider 1 goal in 80th minute? So he has not kept clean sheets. His A game is pretty okay, but everyone else, oh my God, a 6-1 demolition as a Newcastle fan. Oh my God.
Well played to Newcastle. I applaud you guys. Well played.
That's insane. So having a Newcastle stack really worked. So I won a tier 4 here, and I won my MLS Pro was also shit. Oh, by the way, guys, this guy is insane. Mark Anthony K. 60 points in a 4-2 loss. So you guys should go check it out. And of course, this one. Fabian Schär with 100 by halftime, guys. Fabian Schär had 100 by halftime. Right? And I captained the right person, and we got tier 3. So, and like I said, if let's say Nick Pope had that one, it would be really. So,
you never know.
Yeah, because 2 rewards are from my Newcastle stack, and I got threshold. So I'm very, very happy about what happened for this week. So, okay, that's my week. Shall we continue and talk a little bit about the Sorare news, man? What are some of the topics that you have in mind?
So we'll talk about using Playsharper, which is something I didn't do, and I suffered massively because of that.
Explain to the listeners what Playsharper is, in case they don't know.
Sure. So Playsharper is a website where you can check what the starting probability of players are, and you can see what the percentage of wins for a team is, what the odds are. So it's very helpful for doing your lineups. And the 1 week I didn't use it is the 1 week I had 3 or 4 DNPs all across the board. So it shows the importance of and it's free. So just looking at it, and you can set up your lineups, and then you won't have DNPs like an idiot like me. I had people who were injured in my lineups, people who were suspended I didn't even know. So that really screwed me and made me lose rewards.
Yeah, I think Playsharper, but I think with Playsharper also, just one thing to also warn everyone: it's not always 100% perfect. It's actually a community-driven. The Playsharper site will actually appoint supposed experts, and sometimes they don't appoint the right person. There have been cases of people who don't know exactly. I remember especially when it comes to League Two, there was a supposed supposed expert, but did not actually do the right lineups. His lineups was really bad. He actually added injured players or players who are technically, and some of them, they actually manipulate markets based on that. So for Turkish league, for example, there was one guy who actually put a certain goalkeeper who is supposed to be a second goalkeeper, put him at about 60% to start, and his price just went up. And then they found out that he actually had 5 or 6 of his rares that he sold during that period of time. So be very careful. I always say DYOR, do your own research. I would also like people, if let's say you are focusing on specific league, find experts within the leagues, right? So like for me now, I sometimes, you need to pay a little bit. I mean, if you have budget, like I subscribe to people like Sorare Japan, for example, or K League Sorare, and even Sorare Brazil and Sorare Argentina. You can find them all on Twitter. They all have Patreons for a small fee. Like I mean, you're paying about $5-6. And but overall, like through time, it's actually very very worth it, because firstly they will not only tell you who's playing, they'll tell you why they're not playing, whether it's a suspension, whether they're out of form, out of favor. And then they will also help you find certain players that can be UK gems, for example, right? Youngsters that will do well, and will increase in value through the years. So for me, I mean, I always believe that knowledge is power, but sometimes knowledge isn't free. So I mean, for me, at my budget, maybe it's okay to kind of subscribe to a few. But if you guys need a free version of it, Playsharper is still there also, and you can still do your own research on Twitter and stuff like that. So I think that's what I like about this podcast a lot, is because I represent a slightly higher budget, not the highest budget in the world. I'm not a whale, but I have a higher budget, whereas Adit is someone who's studying, so he's actually starting that small. But I think the good thing about the Sorare community, there's a lot of sharing. So just need to ask. I think Adit, you can speak a little bit, but I've seen you like having almost a little community around you on Twitter, right?
Yeah, so I have been talking to a few people who are into MLS, who are into Argentinian leagues. So like I just talking to them, and like I send my lineups to them also, just in case. Like I already looked at Playsharper, but just in case they know a bit more than me, I just send it to them. They're always down to talk to me about it. And we sometimes do deals for cards and everything. So it's a bit helpful, because once you create a relationship, they might be a bit more lenient towards your traits and
Yeah.
everything. So that's quite important to make
I
a
think
few relationships.
I think for free let's say free service, I think Sorare Deki, right? DEKE.
Yep.
He has a pretty strong, I would say, lineup projections that he
Yep.
does for free on Twitter. So shout outs to Sorare Deki if you guys want MLS. Like he's the guy that told us that should we be worried about Aiden Morris away, but he was saying that his way he plays, which is true, right? I mean, Aiden Morris is basically everything goes to him. So
Yep.
yeah, it's one of those players that will probably just still score AAs wherever he goes. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, and so yeah, you made that. So we Playsharper is very important, and another thing that is very important is that when you do trades, you got to check your trades, right? Adit, what
Yeah.
happened, Adit?
So basically, I was using my phone, and me being a bit fat fingered, I accidentally pressed one of my goalkeepers, which I didn't want to put. So basically, I paid 2.5 times what I wanted to pay for it to Powell, and he accepted the offer. And I realized I checked the email I got, he has accepted it. I looked and I saw the goalkeeper was sent, and I didn't want to put the goalkeeper. So I got screwed. I tried to contact him, but to no avail. But I can't blame him, to be honest. I wouldn't really care.
Yeah, I think this is where we gotta think like a trader, right? I think
Yeah.
one thing that so I have always been a big supporter of Powell. I use Powell a lot. I've done, I think, like a week I can do probably 2 or 3 trades with him every week. Because I will always move a lot of players in and out of my gallery. But the thing about Powell, and you have to be, I think one thing that Powell did that really kind of moved me a little bit, that kind of affected me wrongly, is when he accidentally traded away his Jonathan David's unique, right? And then he went on Twitter, made a big deal about it, asking. I mean, he didn't blast that person out. He asked nicely, right, and said that and that person actually gave him back the Jonathan David unique. So for me, but the thing is, that doesn't mean he'll do the same to other people. And I think
That's
you're a big example of it. So I've made that
exactly.
mistake like you also before with Power, where I've accidentally given him more than I should, whether it's through a mistake or whether it's through, looking at certain values wrongly and stuff like that. But I think once it's accepted, right, we just need to we just
Make
need to
peace with
understand
it.
that he's make peace with it. But the thing is, if he ever comes to you,
Yeah.
right, make sure you treat him the right way. Don't be as nice as the other guy. Because if
True.
I was that guy, I would never given him the Jonathan David unique, man. Fuck that shit, man.
I
He
hope he's
can
not watching this, guys.
he can
I
watch
want
it all
nice
out.
deals, by the
No,
way.
but I'm sure he will agree with me, right? I'm
100%.
sure
Yeah.
he will. I'm sure he will. I mean, that's the game of the game, right? He's a trader. He's there to make money, right? If you
Exactly.
made a mistake, sorry, man, dude. It's not I. It's
True.
not as if I cheated you. You are
Yeah.
the one who gave me the offer. So yeah.
Exactly. So next
It's just
time be
that
a
we
bit
should,
smarter.
but we should. But I want to just be upfront. Everyone, like, if he's treating you like this, which is acceptable, I'm not saying it's
Yeah.
wrong. Do the same to him. Why be nice to him?
Yeah. Today I sent an offer and he put a counter. And I think now his swap percentage is a bit high because it's really like killing me. And I don't have enough ETH in my account right now to even go for it. And I don't want to put any other player. So I'm not sure whether to reject or just let it run.
No, just counter lah. Counter at the most that you'll go. If you say yes,
Yep.
if you say yes, if you say no, then move on to the next trade, man. And
Yep.
Powell, I don't know, man. Honestly, Powell, okay, this also, Powell is like, he has moments where he get period in the money. He's PMSing. he will he will give you all kind, but there's some days where you give him some crazy shit and then you say, okay, yeah, it's fine. I don't
Yeah,
know,
I
man. I
remember
don't know
I got
whether
it for once for like 1.15 times when I was like, what the hell?
yeah.
You accepted this? I was
Yeah,
so
so
shocked.
I don't know. I mean, really depends on your luck or I guess the time of the month for you. So I'm putting up my hand saying that Powell is might be a woman, might not be a man. He
I
might
am
not
not
be a
saying
man if
anything,
he.
guys. I will not get into this conversation.
Okay, last but not least on our Sorare News list of play, man. List or play. So I did want to explain what list of play is and what do you think about it?
So basically, now you can, if you're listed a player, you obviously can't play them, and vice versa. And so now this will really affect traders because if you want to make a quick buck on it, it's not going to work anymore. And I think the whole market's struggling because I was looking during the week, just when the game week started last weekend. There were only like four Mbappes, like limited Mbappes on the market. But when list and or player wasn't there, there were tons more. I remember looking myself, there were like 50, 60. I was like, there's so many Mbappes. Now there are four. You're like, what's going on? So I think it's going to really affect traders because now they can't just make like Powell also might get affected because of this. And we spoke about this on our own chat that he's going to try to get people to take his cards and everything or try to trade it away. So yeah, that's what my thoughts are.
I think yes, there is going to be a bit of a struggle for people who are flippers,
Yeah.
right? Like, but people who like me and you who are playing this game in the long run, right? I find that this will also help us
Yep.
because this will make the market a little bit more stable. You won't see like I think one of the key things they were trying to solve. I think they probably saw in the data that people were like buying Messi and Mbappe on a Thursday and then selling it off on a Monday, right? Just to get liquidity back, for
Yep.
them to do other things, right? So now they can't do that. They have to hold it till Tuesday. If not, the lineup gets screwed up. So
Yep.
I think it's smart. I think it's one way of keeping liquidity at a low because
Yep.
higher liquidity means the market's moving too fast, and that's where prices go down, right? This is probably
Correct.
a price correction
Yep.
maneuver. So in the long run, I'm okay with it, right? It's just that yeah, I mean, sometimes I feel like I don't know. I feel bad for the traders. There are some traders who need that liquidity, right? They need their galleries to move in and move out.
Yep.
It just probably means those people with those kind of galleries can't play anymore. So
Yep.
if people forget that power plays, right? Like there are some traders, right, where they actually play. So those traders can't play anymore because they need to sell those players no matter what.
Yep.
So that's probably the only difference. It affects traders more. So they are not going to have access to a lot of rewarded cards. Whereas people like us who actually play
Yep.
more than they trade, then that's yeah. But I think for me, okay, for me, because I don't usually have midweek games. So for me, my trading window is midweek, right? Like I can use that. Like this week, I couldn't trade anything because I had my Newcastle stack was playing. I had other players, so I had like three lineups for midweek, which is usually pretty rare. Usually, I can't even have one lineup. So for me, the way I see it is that I still have my windows to trade if I need to, and then we'll see, man. In the end, the game is the same. The game, if your players do well, your players will increase in price. If your players do badly, your players will tank them. Right? That's how it is. So if you scout well, you get players that can play well, you're still going to be okay in the long run.
True. And I think I saw in the midweek games, one of their players had sold in on Thursday, so the lineup got cancelled, and the guy got like
Oh,
85 points. I was like, oh crap! Imagine you
ouch.
could have got a decent reward just
Yeah.
like that. It's painful.
Exactly. Exactly. Okay, so that's our news. So we're gonna run through our saints of the week. You can let me just share my screen again one more time. So yeah, man. How about you, Mr. Adit? How was your week? Did you have
I
any saints?
Yes,
Leandro, of course.
Leandro, yeah, it has to be 100 pointer. What else can I really say? And for $2, I got him. $2, I can't believe it. This is my Aiden Morris. Like for you, you got Aiden Morris for $10. This
But
is my
Eden
Aiden
Morris
Morris.
price has went down, man. He went
It's
back to
thirty
40.
four
At one point,
dollars now.
yeah, he was. I mean, I'm still making money, but I'm still X3, right? But at one point in time, it was X6. So yeah,
Exactly. So like for me, Leandro Gonzalez Perez, Monster, and River Plate are doing really well. They're top of the table, like dominating. Won the last 4 or 5 games in the last 5 games, so really good for
yes.
him. So
Anyone else? Is that all?
I think for me also this All Star lineup would actually be one of my strong points because even the defender Bata Eel, he's his league is is going into playoffs right now, and he's in the top half, so he might struggle a bit, but I think I found him and he was really cheap at the time. It cost me only like $5. Right now he's like 7 or 8, but still performing very well. High AAs, very good.
Cool. Okay, so that's your sins. For my sins, I love to say this because it's a Newcastle player and it's Fabian Shah, man. I think anyone that can have 100 points but in 45 minutes deserves to be a sin. Pretty
100%.
wild, actually. So this is one of the best performances, not just by Newcastle, but by in a Sorare defense as a Sorare, and he actually got subbed out about 75 minutes. Could have probably gotten more, but then again, the limit is always 100 points. And I don't know whether you
Exactly.
saw the assist to Jolinton. That was pretty one of insane
Oh, what a-
assists. Yeah. So that's one. Another one that I really felt that I did well. Let me just see. Okay, I don't just have all my Newcastle players. Maybe let's have.
tempting though.
Um,
Why don't you talk
Aku
about the
then
player you gave away also?
Oh, Hong Jung, yeah. So I gave him. I didn't play him, so I can't actually technically. But this player, who's we already drawed a winner. We're gonna give right away. Actually scored an amazing 100 points, which was fine and hilarious because I think one of our friends, Chris, he actually had it, and I actually went again and say that he's not gonna score because Daegu keeps conceding goals. Then I saw, holy shit, it's 1-0 to Daegu. Then I immediately said I'm gonna eat my words, and true enough, he scored 100 points. No, this guy, if they keep clean sheet, he has the ability to score high. But the problem is
Correct.
that Daegu doesn't keep clean sheets. Like, I think it's the first clean sheet of the season for them. So yeah,
Oh wow.
yeah. Okay, so next player that I really like that I wanted to share. Where is it? Sorry guys. Uh, Jimenez, man. I think this guy has been an amazing buy for me because he has been playing out of his mind. Like, just to kind of show, look at his L5, L15. I mean, he can't play cap modes, right?
Yep.
I haven't made money off him. It's about 34. So he's still going to probably pay about the same price for me. Now he's actually 32 at the floor. Guys, look at his SO5 scores, man. Look at that, guys.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. I mean, in the past, I would say 10 games or so, 5 games or so.
Oof.
I mean, it's like he had like 200s, couple of 80s. Look at the amount of goals he's been scoring, man. So I like him a lot. Um, the Mexican League isn't ending. There's a bit of a break, and then they restart again soon. So now his price is going to be actually pretty decent. Actually, he's pretty young,
Yeah.
26 years old. So I think this is definitely one of my sins.
Saints.
Okay, okay. How about you? Who's your sinner?
You
Go
can
all the way
literally
down.
again go to my 240. Literally everything just goes to my 240.
Your whole 240. Your whole 240.
Do
This
you
one.
realize this is 2 or 3 weeks in a row I've gone 240 that I've just all my players are terrible. I think
Okay, where's
it's
your 240? Or at the bottom.
below. It's trying to
I think
hide
your
away
27.
from
Is it 240 or 270? Yeah,
240, 270, both all crap to be honest.
yeah, Champ America also scrap, man.
Yeah.
This 270, 240, yeah. 240, yeah, lah. Your Lucas Sulzbaka.
Yeah,
Right
because
now.
he was getting like 48 to 50, so to see him get a 27 was like quite bad. And they were playing against the top team in that half because they've split into two halves now. I still thought when I checked it after the game week started. They said that he would score about 48 to 56 points, I think. So on Playsharper. So now to see 27 really sucked. I was like, what the hell is going on right here? Like 27. You
Okay,
can't recover
okay,
from that.
okay. All right. My sinner is I had a few actually, if I'm being honest. I had a lot of goalkeepers that were sinners, if I'm being honest. Let me see my sinner. My sinner is yeah, should be Bauman was a sinner. Yeah,
Mm.
Oliver Bauman. Because I find that he is he I don't get it, man. You have like an insane games in Bayern Munich, and then you shit the bed against home game against Cologne. I just don't get sometimes. This guy never even started Jason Ramos. Actually, all my goalkeepers are shit. Except Stephen Fry. This guy also scored 18 points, Kavir Kureli. So yeah, I would say Nick Pope is also a sinner for actually considering a stupid goal, if not to be like to make my whole perfect. So yeah, all my goalkeepers are sinners. So I'm gonna make it super easy. All the goalkeepers.
That's how
Yeah.
hard it is to get a good goalkeeper.
Yeah, man. Okay, so yeah, today we're running through things, man, which is okay. Short episode for the day for today. Your 220. Okay, I'm okay. Just to announce, I'm taking a break from 220 for 1 week because I need to reset my luck. So I'm going to play my own 220, and I'm not gonna waste money trying to find players at least for this week. But Adit, you're still doing.
Yeah, I'm still doing. I,
Uh,
I asked him about it after I bought the players. I should have thought about that before. I should have asked him and then bought the players. But for me, I bought like a few players called Sergei Petrov. They're playing against Ural in the Russian league. Ural are struggling, so I'm hoping that he can do well. His team's not doing too bad, to be honest. Krasnodar, I think that's the
FC
way.
Krasnodar. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, there is that correct. So I think he can score well against a bad team. So I'm hoping his cap is 41, and like you can see, his predicted is decent. So I'm just hoping for the best here. Then I also have Cardozo. I bought Cardozo like 2 days ago. I don't know if
Yeah,
he'll show up.
I have
Midfielder.
Cardoso also, man. I
Yeah.
have
So
Cardoso also.
they've been in all right form, to be honest. Like
He did well, man. In
yeah,
last week. Yeah.
and they played against a much better team, and he still did well. So I'm hoping, and now they're playing against someone I think in 23rd or 22nd or 23rd. So I'm hoping the matchup really shows he's been in good form in matchups. Then um my forward is Franco Trojansky. He's also he plays for CA Lanus. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it properly,
Yeah.
but
This one.
again,
Lanus.
also it's about matchups here because they're coming against a team that are struggling. ACA Lanus are doing well. They've become much better this week. And in the last few weeks, they won like 3-5. So hoping for the same here. And then my last player, which is a bit of a risk, is Jonathan Gomez, a midfielder. He plays for Racing Club. He plays with Matthias Rojas. Um,
Mm.
Boca Juniors have been very like iffy. You don't know what you're gonna get from them, to be honest. But I'm hoping he's been doing it decently well. 58 in the last 5 games with a cap of 44. This is outperforming, which you want to see. So that's my lineup, to be honest. Very simple, cheap. Cost me like $13.
Cool. Awesome, man. Good luck.
Thank you.
Although you'll be playing against yourself. Okay, for me, okay, because this week was so busy for me, right? I think some of the highlights for this week, which is pretty interesting, is that I decided to let technically Sorare Data choose my lineups. So what I've done is I used their football lineup builder, which is this one right here. And then let me just look at all my save lineups. So what I did, right, was I look at the, where they have the not just the Excel score, but actually the ratings, that triple A kind of thing. So what I did was I prioritized certain modes, and then so like for me, I prioritize all star, for example, right? Then if you look at my all star team here,
Ooh,
everybody is double A or triple A. That's how I've been choosing it. And then if you look at my cap 220, 270 is also everybody's A, triple A or B, right? So that's how I've been choosing. I whatever they feel that will work, I will. So the stuff that you don't see A's are just basically the teams that I
the
don't really
throwaway
care
teams,
about. The
basically.
throwaway teams.
Oh, look at
Yeah,
the
or I
220 rare.
so bad, right? Uh, so I say, my 240, I had to really, really kind of work it out.
Yeah.
At least I got at least three double A's, but my goalkeeper is F, my that one is F. I mean, the rare is a bit harder because my rares are more lower value. But as you can see, look at my Champ America.
Balling
So
out.
this is the experiments I'm taking this week, and then we'll see lah. We see how it works. Whether it works in the when we play when we play. So that's just my highlight of the game. How about you, man? What is your plan for the upcoming game?
I think this week I'm not gonna go for All Star. I think All Star with my club and gallery is just
But
getting
but dude,
impossible.
but with that being said, why don't you try to do this? You have so many triple A players, though. Then why
So
don't you put?
that's what I'm doing. I'm prioritizing Champion America this week instead,
Okay.
because I'm trying to be a bit more realistic with my stack. It's
Mm. But I see that you
unsustainable
got,
to
like, let's say, like Alan Sousa has double A,
yeah
even Nudu has double A. I mean, you got a couple of very good A scores, which says there's no sometimes quality over quantity, man. I have
yeah
tons of players, but you could look, I have like tons of B and C rated players. But then again, like I said, we don't know how good this
exactly.
rating is. So that's the I would say experiment that we're going for.
Yeah, so this week I'm just mostly prioritizing my 240, my Champ America, and my Challenger Europe, because I think when I was using the rating, it was giving much higher ratings for these lineups. So I rather stick with that, where it's more likely that I'm going to win a prize. So that's what I went for this week.
Okay, cool. All right, man. Should be interesting. Good luck, by the way.
Thank you,
Hopefully,
thank you.
I'm on a good streak. Like even my midweek has actually been very, very good for me.
Well, you
I
should
just,
show
I Yeah.
our
So
viewers.
once again, Newcastle won again last night.
Mhm.
So we are recording this on a Friday morning. So Thursday, Singapore
Early
time.
hours,
This
yeah.
was early hours. They were playing, and yes, man, I'm winning a tier four. Oh, by the way, guys, I'm gonna give everyone a bit of a tip here, and I think you've already bought him, right? Lee Yong,
Yes.
guys. This Lee Yong guy, he's super old. Only probably at 38 or 36 years old or some shit like that. He's super old, but oh my god, this guy is so good. This guy, I mean, just look at it. It's all pure AA. Look at his
75.
L1575. I mean, I got his rare, which I'm very, very happy about. So, I mean, just look, they don't need to win. No. I mean, they're on a good streak, but even at a loss, right? 2-0, he had a 77 AA. So he's on a good streak. So, pretty excited. Next match against Seoul, though. Seoul's a bit tough match. But after that, Gangwon, Daejeon, Jeju should be pretty okay matches for them. Yeah. So, Leon,
And
guys, that's
I think Opta needs to give a certain assist to Isak, who got a beautiful assist, guys. That was an
yeah, exactly,
unbelievable
man.
assist.
Exactly. And yeah, so I did Callum Wilson was in the wrong team. Damn it. But yeah, man, my Premier League Pro actually managed to get a tier four. So I'm very happy.
That's
Mahrez
really
had a
good.
very good game. Jacob Murphy, tapped in. Jolinton had a good game. Good
You got
contributions.
Jacob Murphy for like $4, right? Last week.
Yep, very cheap. Yeah, very
Really
cheap.
cheap.
But like I said, I got Gordon in really, so I'm very close to completing my Newcastle. My goal was to get every starting 11. I think I'm left with 10 burns.
No.
Yeah. Okay. Okay,
Decent.
man. This has been a very, very short but sweet episode. Hope everyone has a great week ahead. We will definitely do another recording soon next week. So yeah, man. Thank you so much for joining. Please, like the socials, Twitter, TikTok, and of course YouTube. We love your comments. And Adit, any last words on your end?
Good luck to everyone who's watching us for this upcoming Sorare week and in midweek. Thanks for supporting us for our giveaways. Also, we've been giving away cards and there's been good engagement. So I hope this continues. And thank you all for supporting us. It means the world to us, honestly.
Okay, man. All right. Have a good one. Have a good week. Peace out.
Yes.